welcome to Florida, where we are having a torrential downpour. I am Patricia Briers-Babrain. Thank you for joining us here, and I am joined with Brenda Bronson. Brenda, say hello to the folks.
Hello, folks. It is Brenda Bronson here. Patricia, it's so good to be here in the booth with you. We are already off to an exciting start with a penalty in the first few seconds of the game. Do you want to describe what that penalty was exactly?
There was a lot of dancing on the field again, and that's kind of the whole MO of the Vigilantes, is they like to come out strong and throw down some moves to intimidate the Everglators. So we have Eggs right off the bat, throwing to walls, and stopped before the first down.
Already down. Now, we'll see if the Vigilantes starting strong can actually pull them a win. So far, they are 0-1 with the Everglators at 1-0.
The real underdog of this game. And they're stopping the Everglators. Impressive.
That is impressive.
We are fourth and inches. Let's see what the Everglators decide to do to get those inches. And they kicked, which is a good call. They punted it away. Those inches were just miles and miles away.
You know, sometimes they don't kick very far, and sometimes they kick very far, you know? So you want to see them kick far is typically, you know, the move that you want to see, and Jose really just pulled that out.
He did. And we have another penalty on the field.
Finley down. So that was a wristwatch penalty against the Vigilantes. So one of them was wearing a non-regulation wristwatch, it seems like. Yeah, it's just the flashing against the lights. It'll get in your eyes, and it's just no good.
Yeah. That it's been used as tactics for distraction against the other team, but often it backfires. And it looks like
and then we got
a sack on the field. Amazing. Just so far, nothing going on in the first quarter. Really,
we're just kind of in a holding pattern.
Oh, and the weather tossed it to Kramer and tried to regain some of that yardage back. They're still so far from that yellow line that keeps appearing on the field.
It's like, you know, they start at the 50-yard line, and then they go away from it, and they're back at it. I think they're just really in love with the 50-yard line this time around. Over tonight, and they are down. Okay.
It's like, figure it out, folks. Oh, instant replay. Brenda, I love these. You get right in the field.
They are just so
he's just standing
real.
there, isn't he?
He just stood there for a while, huh?
He really held on to the ball there. That's a strategy, I've heard.
It did, yeah. I mean, if you just don't throw the ball, the other team can't get it. So it's, you know, I mean, there's what are they going to do?
Exactly.
Nothing. They can't do anything about it.
Finley running a little bit. And
just a few steps here.
Someone is just dancing around on the Everglators, and I'm really surprised they didn't call him on that one.
Yeah, really. I know. It's kind of unfair. It makes you wonder if they have something against the Vigilantes here, you know, since they're not winning.
But in fact, also, I would say that they're not losing either. It's really anyone's game at this point.
That is true. You're right. It really is anybody's game. You know, end of the first quarter, we're at 0-0.
Yep.
Vigilantes had 37 yards and still didn't do anything at all about it.
Well, did they now? Maybe.
Well,
someone looks disappointed. I'm not sure that the numbers on the bottom didn't change, so it looks like it didn't go through. It's hard to see with all that rain, Brenda. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. I think the rain is really causing some visibility issues, perhaps for our players as well. You know, they just keep slipping and sliding out there, just these wet, muddy boys.
It doesn't look pleasant, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm real glad that we're up here in the booth.
Me too. It's nice and dry up here. We have I got a little space heater. You have a cat.
I do have a cat and some cocoa.
Cocoa and some cocoa.
Did you want some cocoa?
I would love some cocoa. Do you have the mini marshmallows?
I do have the mini marshmallows,
Delightful.
Patricia. You know me.
Oh, Brenda. They're back at the 50-yard line again because it's just kind of the place where the cool kids hang out.
It is the place to be this game. Now, do you think that, how do you think the Vigilantes are going to end up doing once we're out of preseason with this interesting showing so far? Do you think they have a chance at the finals this year?
Bowl? I don't know. I think the way you start a season is pretty indicative of the way you end a season and the way you do in the middle of the season and throughout it as a whole. And they're really not showing me much that is impressing me, to be honest. And there are other things happening. Eggs and Quinn. Eggs is really favoring Quinn, and I'm not sure why. Because Quinn
is such a he's kind of zippy.
Yeah, he's a little zippy.
They still knocked him down, though.
They did.
There he goes. We got that instant replay.
Some of the Vigilantes are also zippy, so you gotta be zippy.
Yes, they are. I think it's because they have those stripes on their jerseys there. It makes them go faster.
Yes.
The color red also makes them run faster.
Like a bull.
Really interesting. Yeah, really interesting study on that. Quinn's going for it again and still gets knocked down with a fumble. Wow, a great steal there.
The ball slipped. And the ref is waving. Right. Looked like he was indicating to the booth and asking, hey, can they do that? And the answer was yeah. And now the Vigilantes have the ball. And they are approaching the 50-yard line. They absolutely
can do that. And yeah, let's see if they can. I mean, they're just going to take it back to the 50-yard line, because that's the only direction for them to go. They really gotta bear down on that offense there and just really get it past the middle of the field.
And it really get it past the middle of the field, and I'm not sure why none of them are doing that. And I think
it seems like they're unable to do that.
They're unable to do that, and weather is just not moving as much as you'd expect them to. Oh, it looks like Biskin has picked
Great steal from
up.
Biskin over here, taking it right back to the middle of the field. I'm almost starting to think there might be some illegal, ball magnetism going on here.
Right.
We might need to get someone to investigate that. It's been a pretty dirty preseason so far.
They're really drawing to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, just pulling out all the stops. And let's see if we can get a score on the board for anybody at all. Just anyone.
And hanging out on the sidelines is some other people that play for the team.
I sent some cocoa down to the Everglators because they're my pick for the superb owl so far. So yeah, got to give them a little Brenda Bronson love, the extra treatment.
Warm them up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
See you.
No marshmallows though. Those boys got to watch their weight.
Yeah. And eggs being completely
ham and eggs down,
broken down on the field.
Those nice circles that they do when they're huddling, I heard that it takes 3 months of practice to get that perfect 20-yard circle. And every time, it's a perfect circle every time. Yeah.
I was admiring that earlier.
Feat of mathematics. Yeah.
It's the complicated variables that are involved in forming such a circle.
Absolutely. There are. Oh, are we
and
in?
The kick is up, doing a little dance. That makes me think it was good. Let's see if any numbers change. I don't see any numbers.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering when our little ticker's going to show up on the bottom of our booth window. Haven't been able to see that in quite some time.
Strange. Now, someone was wiggling their hips too ferociously, and that caused a penalty.
This is a pretty spicy game as far as dance moves go so far. Yeah.
Both teams
I heard that they really are, and I heard that there was a consideration of adding sequins to the Vigilantes uniforms this year. It was voted down.
Right.
Unfortunately, it would have been really fun to see those sequins.
I think the problem was the sharpness of the sequins, and that when they play tested them, everyone bled out on the field.
Yeah, sequin cuts are no joke. They really are not. So we're still at 0-0 at the end of the second quarter. I mean, there's still 20 seconds left, so we'll see where we go. But so far, just seem to be stuck in the middle of this field.
In the middle of the field. And Weather disappointed that he, again, someone stole the ball from him. And
I think
now
Weather's I think he's having a bad day.
I think so, too.
All right, into the end zone. Wasn't in. It's hard to tell with that visibility.
Yep.
Honestly, I guess not.
Dropped.
I guess it wasn't in.
Nope, and they're back again at that 50-yard line.
I just, this is like this kind of reminds me of I think it was 4 seasons ago or so, the Drakes and the Tridents, they had a similar game. They went into quadruple septuple overtime, if you recall that.
Oh, man, I do.
And then finally, the Tridents were able to push the ball into the end of the field, really choke up on that offense, and just insert themselves into the end zone.
I heard they really
take home the
pounded it in
circular
there.
ball. They just pounded that ball right in there, finally.
And everyone was satisfied.
All this play before, foreplay, you could say. Yep. So we are going to go to a quick break, and we will be right back right after these sponsors.
Podcube, podcasts from the past delivered to the future.
With Podcube's pseudo-linear 4D adiabatic qubit streaming technology, you can select any point in history and record it for personal gain.
What was the group dynamic with Australopithecus?
What brand of cigarettes did the Spanish Inquisition smoke?
Was Leonardo da Vinci a pants guy?
Or a shorts guy?
You can discover with Podcube.
Listen for yourself to the flagship Podcube podcast, Alabaster's Haberdashery, recorded on location in 1880.
Simply search Podcube, all one word, in your podcast app. Or visit poweredbypodcube.com.
Podcube, the future is yesterday.
And we're back! 0-0 at the half. What a disappointing start to this game.
0-0 in the biz, they call that an ooh game.
Yeah, I've seen that reported. And someone on the phone calling their manager, "Get me out of here," he's saying. Not a good time to be a vigilante.
No, it's not. It really is not. They're having a rough start. They got turned down on the sequence. They got the dancing penalty. They just can't. Their butts are stuck to that 50-yard line, and it's just a rough time. I really hope that the stakeholders and the Vigilantes, because they are they went public back in 2018, so you can actually hold stock. It's the only helmet ball team that you can hold stock in. The stakeholders are not going to be happy with this game, I don't think.
Not in the slightest. Weathers is going to have his phone just ringing off the hook, I think. And more stoppage on the field. And a big belly bonk.
You love to see a good big belly bonk.
You love a big belly bonk.
You love to see
and then a big kick happening. Not one of them flubby ones.
We love those big boy kicks.
Big boy kicks.
Big boy throws, big boy kicks.
It's funny that I've been seeing a lot of dancing that hasn't been called. So you wonder, what exactly are the rules for dancing? Which dancings are allowed and which dancings are not allowed? Is it provocativeness?
Right, so it's a problem of when the dancing becomes too sexy.
Gotcha.
Too sexy for the jerseys. When you get so sexy, you get so hot, you got to take off all your clothes. That is when the dancing becomes a penalty. You do a little disco arm here and there, a tiny little hip wiggle, and that's all right. But when it's too sexy, enough is enough.
What if it's I heard you can go too far the other way. What if it's not sexy enough and it's really dry and boring?
It's a fine balance that you have to strike. Those dry, boring dances, it's actually what you get a reverse penalty is what that's called, which is where they just award extra benefits to the other team.
You love to see
more
extra
than usual.
benefits.
Like a lot of them.
Like more benefits.
just so many. And so it's just really a fine balance you got to strike when you've got your on-field dance moves.
And a big pile happening. Someone
Just
checking their watch. Hope the ref doesn't see that.
I know. I hope that's a regulation wristwatch.
Better be rubber covered.
Rubber-covered Irish wristwatches are the regulation wristwatches. Why not American-made? You say, well, American-made wristwatch. Oh, are we in?
Someone
Did
has
we have a touchdown?
it
Finally,
to the back of the field. Slammed it right in there.
The Everglators have finally got in for a touchdown.
Giving us something.
We've got points on the board. They're finally playing the game. Not surprised that they're going to take home another W.
Yeah, well, there are still a quarter left. So we'll see if the Vigilantes can pound it
Anything
the
could
other
happen.
way.
They could possibly score 8 points.
They could.
Maybe.
Potential for that 2-point conversion, I think, would be the best situation for them after they get it to the end zone, which they are continuing to be unable to do.
You know, I'd say that they're giving it a great effort.
They're definitely trying. Definitely.
Maybe.
They're at least making it appear that they're trying, which we appreciate,
Absolutely.
you know?
You know, yeah, it's good to know that there's some effort. So end of the third quarter.
Huge difference in
7-0.
yardage.
Yeah, yep, huge difference in the yardage. We're here at the top of the fourth. And let's see how they do.
Completion. Again, back to the 50.
The nifty 50,
Nifty
as they call it.
In the business.
In the biz. The helmet ball biz.
Oh, a penalty. Let's see if...
You know, this visibility is very bad. The rain is so hard, it's hard for me to tell who's who down there.
It sure is. It's taking away the colors.
We've got a penalty against the Vigilantes. 1 count of peanut butter mouth.
Oof. You hate to see it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it just gets everywhere.
Sticky, messy, you're running and breathing heavy, and it's all over the place.
And it's like, where did they even get
Where
that
do you
peanut
get
butter
the
from?
Peanut butter?
You never know. Peanut butter has been outlawed for 15 years. I don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen a peanut in, oh man, even longer.
I couldn't even tell you.
And some of the folks are just choosing to lay down on the field, which I think is an interesting strategy.
Well, see, Patricia, sometimes you just get really tired.
Okay.
And you need to take a small micro nap in the middle of the game, like that one, to get that energy back up, you know?
I've read some interesting
Micro
science
naps.
reports on micronaps and the restorative effects of the AstroTurf that they play on.
Oh, yeah? Is that, so what percentage, like, better do you think micro naps are than just couch naps?
Couch naps, I think it's a good 0.01 because the grass tickles you in a way that a couch doesn't.
That's huge.
It really is, you know. So when you get the chance, make sure you go run out on the field. When you see a player laying down, that's actually an invitation, a spoon. So you need to wrap your body around them and get the benefits of that micro nap.
But very quickly, because there's not much time, and you don't want to get trampled.
They really don't give you much more than a half a second to appear, nap, and then disappear, and really the moments are fleeting. But weird.
So it looks like, are the Vigilantes finally on the board? It looks like they just snuck that by us while we were talking about micro naps. Incredible. Yeah, they really did.
Wow.
Let's see.
Are they going for 2?
Let's see if they can.
This might just get
might be.
They did a kick, which does tie it. Incredible.
7-7, my favorite beverage. 7-7.
7-7. That makes 49. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks.
All right, we're on the phone complaining to his wife probably about the fact that the Vigilantes managed to score against them. He really he takes this game very seriously.
Yeah.
It's really personally when people score against him, like it's a personal attack on him and his family. So
he needs to learn to separate himself from his art, frankly, and know that his value doesn't come from his performance on the field.
Absolutely, it does not.
Even though I definitely do assign value based on their performance on the field, he should not listen to it.
Yeah, and like how much you get paid and like if you get to stay on your team and stuff happens to do with how you do. But it's just like, just forget about it, you know? Like, why would you get stressed out about that?
Live your life, you know? Live your
your best life.
You run around, you nap, and you dance. And I think that's a reward in itself.
Run, nap, dance, helmet ball.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And the Vigilantes did steal the ball again. And they moved
Pretty
it.
impressive for the Vigilantes. Let's see if they can move it in the correct direction.
They sure are trying.
Perhaps not for a fumble.
And the ref blew their whistle like 4 times. And that means that the players all have 5 seconds to get their finger on the football.
Yes, that's correct. Little known fact, when the whistle blows 4 times, it's just a mad dash. That's why you get those piles out there. Piles of boys. So, you know, it just, yep.
Determines
Thank you
how much big boy ice cream you get after the game, how fast you touch the ball.
You know, and if you don't touch the ball, you're just stuck with orange slices.
It's so disappointing.
You know? And it sucks when everyone has ice cream and you just have orange slices.
Which is good. It's nature's ice cream, but...
That's what I always say. That it's nature's ice cream. All right, so we have 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. We might be going into overtime here if they can't get this into the end zone, but they might. No, looks
pushing backwards.
Where is the ball? It looks like it went the wrong direction.
So
they didn't make any progress at all.
The Everglators may have just turned it over too close to the enemy's end zone. This puts the Vigilantes in a great position to turn something over before the end of the game.
And the thing they turn over, I sure hope is, their points, and not something else. So.
A new leaf. Do that off the field, boys.
Yeah, we don't need to see any character development on the field. Mm-mm. I want to see helmet ball.
I want to see some pounding into that end zone is what I would like to peep on today.
I absolutely would, and it looks like they are
not
trying to really push hard for that. Really trying to push hard into the end zone there. This is down to 45 seconds in the fourth.
I'm a little stressed. I'm going to need some more marshmallows after this, I think.
Oh, yes, I can absolutely hook you up with some more cocoa marshmallows. Do you just want marshmallows, or do you want, like, cocoa because I could just give you the bag of marshmallows.
I'll take the bag of marshmallows.
Okay.
I stress eat
anything
those
for you, Patricia.
So thanks, Brenda.
All right, we are still working hard for that goal, and the Everglators are just stopping them at every thrust. And are we in? A field goal for the Vigilantes. Wow.
And the kicker
40 seconds off, or 40 seconds to the end of the game.
In celebration. Incredible.
Incredible.
And we are coming to an end, and it looks like the Vigilantes might just pull a win out of this one.
They just squeaked right on by. You know, they really had us in the first half, dancing around the nifty 50-yard line.
Yes.
Just a real, it was a real turnaround. They really tricked us.
They pulled a sneaky on us, they did.
They did. They pulled a sneaky on us, They said, we're not here. And we said, yeah, you're super not. And we turns out we were wrong about that one. It's like, why do you even try at this point?
Yeah, and that's, it's almost it. 5 more seconds. Can Everglators get to the pound zone in that time?
I am sure
they're going to have to throw it real hard and run really far, and they just did not.
Still calling a timeout, though, with 3 seconds left in the game. That's a choice.
Yeah. Really,
And you ask yourself, is it worth it?
Sometimes you wonder when you need to just cut your losses, But there is a penalty.
Right.
Let's see, in whose favor will this be? wristwatch.
Wristwatch penalty against the Everglators. Surprising.
And nobody saw it. So they gave up, and that's the end. And the Vigilantes pulled it out, and thank you. I've been Patricia Briers the Brain.
I've been Brenda Bronson. Don't forget to grab the helmet by the balls.
Pound it into the end zone, folks. See ya.